time for Nerdgasm.
Hey, what's up guys? Jerry here, aka Barnacles, and today I want to share with you something that I think is really, really cool. Now, let's start off by rewinding about 2 years when I attended World Maker Faire in New York at the New York Hall of Science for the first time with Ultimaker. I had an absolute blast. It was a killer time, and I've gone every year since. Well, I was there. I was approached by a company named MyMiniFactory.com, and they asked if they could take some pictures of me for a little secret project to surprise me.
And like I was really gonna say no to that, right?
All right, so fast forward a couple of weeks and I get home and I'm contacted by one of their designers named Ricardo Alves. And he sends me an STL file that is quite literally my head. The dude 3D modeled my head. All right, so I told him to publish it up on MyMiniFactory.com, and I downloaded it myself and went and printed my own little mini Barnacles head in Color Fab bronze fill. This material is 80% PLA and 20% actual bronze dust, so you can actually polish it to shine, and it's very heavy. It makes a hell of a paperweight.
Now you might think I'm a little narcissistic for printing my own head, but what do you know?
All right, so now we fast forward 2 years to present time. About a week ago, I was contacted by somebody going by the name The Link on Facebook, and he said, hey, I 3D modeled something you might like. And he sends me the STL file, and it's quite literally Buddha's body with my head on it. And I busted up laughing. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. So I told him he could upload it to Thingiverse.com, and he did. Well, I had plans to 3D print it myself, but I thought, man, it'd be cool if I had a really big version of this. So I reached out to my friend on Twitter, Joel Telling, also known as the 3D Printing Nerd, and I said, hey, you got those G-Max printers that can print massive, massive 3D prints, and that's kind of what he's known for on YouTube. I said, hey, you want to take a crack at printing Buddha? Seriously, guys, not even 2 days went by and this got created. Here it is. This is Buddacles.
Buddha, 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 Buddha.
This entire Buddacles statue was printed in one session, one roll of filament, 15 inches tall with no support on a G-Max 3D printer, which is a massive printer. Now, if you guys want to see a time lapse of this thing being printed, and I mean, it is an amazing time lapse. I have a link in the video description to the 3D Printing Nerds video of printing this exact statue, and it's amazing. That printer can print some huge stuff. This isn't even as big as it could go. The reason he could only make it 15 inches tall was because a 1 kilogram roll of filament couldn't print any more than this. He would have to stop it, change the filament, and start printing again to go any bigger than this because he just didn't have any like 5 kilogram rolls. But he could actually even make it bigger than this. It's fairly lightweight, but it's sturdy. And if you look at it, it actually is very good quality for a 0.2 millimeter layer height. It looks absolutely fantastic. And the overhang underneath the fingernails and around the toes, everything came out really good. Now, there are some spots on the model where you can see through where the filament had some gaps, and they're very, very slight and few around the model. But considering the size of this thing and that it printed in 24 hours, I am thoroughly impressed. Now, there are a few little ripples around the mouth and around the eyes, but that actually had more to do with the 3D model itself. Now, when we got a hold of the 3D model, Joel told me that it had a ton of holes in it, a lot of defects, and it wouldn't 3D print. For it to 3D print, it has to be a watertight 3D model. So he went ahead and did all the corrections and fixed it up and patched it up best he could to give me a quick turnaround time and crank this out. And Joel, I think you're awesome for doing that. This is going to become one of my prized possessions, and I haven't even printed it. So Mini Buddacles here and I have been getting around town. Just the other day, we went out and got coffee together, and yes, I'm not even joking. I went into the coffee shop and I set him down on the table, and people were walking by and rubbing his belly, like not even realizing that this was my head, except for one lady finally stopped and she's like, that kind of looks like you. And I was like, what? And she's like, oh, the head. I mean, seriously, guys, my nipples are not that big. So then after getting coffee, I went and got Mexican food for lunch. So I brought this along again and I set it on the table. And the server walked by and she just started laughing. She thought it was absolutely hilarious. And some other people in the restaurants were kind of giving me looks like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? I mean, I'm walking around with this and I got pajama pants on and I'm eating Mexican food. Yeah, it's probably warranted to feel that way. And I mean, Buddacles is such a freaking rebel, he didn't even buckle up the whole time we were driving around. I mean, thug life. Now, if you guys want to see more of the adventures of me and Buddacles, just head on over to my Instagram. I am Barnacles on Instagram, and I also have a link in the video description, so you just click on that, and it'll take you over there, and you can see a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff and things that I was doing with Buddacles that might not be appropriate for YouTube. But guys, it's not gonna end there. I have more plans for Budocles here. So the next step is to take Mr. Budocles over to my friend Adam's house, and we are going to actually apply gold leaf and gold paint and lacquer to this thing and make it the most sparkly, golden, gaudy thing that I could ever possibly own. Seriously, guys, that's gonna be so epic. And then Budocles will take his rightful place here in the Nerd Cave in the background. And if you guys think I should take him for another round around the coffee shops, the malls, go out and have some lunch with him after he's all golded up, let me know down in the comments. I would really like to know if you guys would like to see that, because
I'll seriously do it.
I've also noticed in the last day that another model showed up, which is my head on the Incredible Hulk's body. So this is now kind of becoming a trend. So I'm going to try to get that printed out also in a future video. But guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much to Ricardo Alves for 3D modeling my head, which later led to somebody putting it on a Buddha, and even later led to Joel Telling, aka the 3D printing nerd, making me this giant 15-inch tall statue of Budocles. Okay, so everybody head over to your favorite social network and hashtag Budocles. You can hashtag it down in the comments, put it everywhere. We are gonna trend Mr. Budocles. And for you few people out there that keep messaging me saying that this is sacrilegious to put my head on Buddha's body, how? Buddha was a pacifist. He doesn't care. Also, I have it on good authority that this actually isn't Buddha's body, but let's just keep that on the down low. I thought it was Buddha. Most people think it's Buddha, so we're just gonna stick with its Buddha body. Also, if you guys look at the back of this little statue right here, Joel also added my logo, Barnacles Nerdgasm, right here to the back. And I can't believe how well it printed considering there was no support on this piece. It's actually pretty mind-blowing how well Joel has his 3D printers dialed in. And the guy has a lot of them. I urge you to go over and check out his 3D printing channel. I mean, the guy has more 3D printers than I do. And I thought I had like the most 3D printers of anybody that didn't have some kind of an incorporated business in an industrial complex printing cookie cutters or something. I mean, so I guess I was wrong there. But Joel is an excellent guy. We even did a podcast together live online. It was actually more of a live stream because we had video. And that's also up on his channel, and I'll link that in the video description so you guys can go and check that out. And that was when I went over to his house for the first time to meet him and pick up little Budocles here. All right, guys, well, I'm going to wrap it up. This has been one of the funner things that I've done in a long time. So make sure you go watch that time lapse. Let me know what you guys think. Always come over and tweet me. I'm at Barnacles. I'm highly active on Twitter. I also am on Facebook and I'm on Instagram too, but the most interactive place is Twitter. That's kind of like my jam. All right, guys, until next time. What'd you say? What? Serious? Ugh, that's just dirty. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please take a moment and subscribe to my channel. It helps me a lot. Also come over to Twitter. I'm at Barnacles. I'm a real social guy. Also, if you have a couple of minutes, check out some of these many other videos. I made them myself.